Welcome to the NAO show. As you can see, we have 4 amigos in the house tonight. We are going to go ahead and answer all the questions from the league about who is this man, Goofyjas, and what does it take to get him on the trade block. All right, as you know, I'm Sean. That's Marky Mark, and that's Michael. And the guest of the show, Goofyjas, a.k.a. Jason. Welcome to the show, big guy.
I'm just here so I don't got to make any trades.
Awesome. Fantastic. We all want trades from you, though. So you need to jump on that, all right? All right, Marky Mark,
okay.
kick us off. Let's go.
Okay. So is that Jason or is that Marshawn? Is that you, Marshawn?
Yeah. I'm just here so I don't get fined some draft picks.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you're complying. We got strict league rules here, so good to see you're complying.
Yeah, we were talking about having to take a 5th round pick from you for the next 2 years. So good thing you came.
I'll send you some Doritos.
All right, man. Well, yeah, I think that's Jason under there, moonlighting as Marshawn Lynch.
We got to wear one of these?
No, not right now.
We're all right.
We can wear one of these. I'm not sure many of you guys know what one of those is.
Does Carson Wentz know what that is, or is that Nick Foles?
Woo-hoo! Here we go. NAO show where the fire just keeps rolling through.
Yeah, I think Carson's was a little smaller than that, wasn't it?
It's definitely not Donovan.
All right. Well, we are calling this episode Getting to Know Goofy, getting to know all about Goofy. It's the Goofyjas show.
Right.
So, a little question and answer so we can all get to know who this guy is. He's been a mystery so far. Glad to have you on, Jason. Thanks for coming.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Good, man. Good. So you were originally from Ohio and you grew up as a Browns and an Indians fan. Can you expand a little bit more on that? Tell us some about your background.
So, I was raised right as an Indians fan, a Browns fan. Still love the Indians and can't stand the Chicago Cubs. Just multiple reasons for that. Living in Illinois, that's pretty much all you get to see on TV. So it didn't really work out. Gave up on the Browns when they gave up on football and sold the team, moved it to Baltimore, and went looking down the list of, who was a real football team. A couple passed my list and a couple never even made my list and wound up with the Eagles. So we root for them. We root for the Indians.
Good deal. And Mike, you're a kind of a Browns fan by living it.
By proxy.
I keep track of the Browns so I can be polite at work. But no, the Indians. We do like the Indians around here. And going up to the Cleveland to watch those games. Did you have the Cleveland drummer? Was he there? I don't know actually how long he's been around, but that guy, I sit next to him whenever I can because he's fantastic.
Yeah, I got a crazy story that I know it's Indians. And this is football, whatever, but we went to a game up in Cleveland and he's been up there forever. We got pictures with him, seen him bang the drum a bit. He's a great guy to talk to. But one day we'll get into that Indian story. It was awesome. The kids love it. I can get him to say it right now. Hey, Rosario!
I just want to say you're teaching your kids fantastic habits. Keep it up. I love it.
So were you born in the Cleveland area? Is that where you're from originally?
No, that's where my dad was born outside in the Columbus area. So
okay.
Small place, and got to know all the Amish people.
Oh, that part of Ohio.
Right. Yeah,
really good at slow pitch softball.
Yeah, no man's land. That's all you had to do with the side of your house is throw the ball against it that day. So.
And where are you, Mike? Where are you in Ohio?
I'm up in Canton with the Hall of Fame.
Canton. Okay, cool deal.
So
you don't look at Ian's map that he so graciously made for all of us.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell exactly where you are there.
First of all, we don't give that guy any credit on this show. I forgot to tell everybody again. We don't give any of those guys credit.
I was told the only contractual obligations that I had was to remind you guys about this sticky note that, this has to come up several times here in this meeting.
Ian,
remember
you
that.
suck.
Is one of the best sticky
Nice.
notes I've seen in a
Nice.
very long time.
I read it for the people just listening.
Evan.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted a podcast. So, all right, Jason, tell us how long you've been playing fantasy.
Playing fantasy when I started, I got into a Siemens league. This was back when they didn't have any online fantasy. You had to pencil it in. So back when we were doing it, been with Siemens for about 23 years now. So it was probably about 19 years ago.
Who was your number one draft pick in that league?
The very, very first time that I took them.
First fantasy.
I got to go back, and we started that league as a keeper, like way early on. And I bought all my keeper jerseys. So it's in the closet somewhere. It's an old Giants running back.
Tiki?
Running back, 23
Oh, Tiki,
years.
that was
Tiki?
Even older than Tiki?
older than that.
Wow, no kidding.
Golly.
Oh yeah, back when Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, those were your top two picks, going into.
OJ Anderson was with the Giants. Showing my age now. You're like OJ Anderson. Who the hell's that?
That was before football.
Were the Buffalo, not the Buffalo Bills, but the Cowboys, were they really good back then?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. Good. Moving on. Have you won any championships, Jason?
Oh, won a championship. You know the answer to that question. I think that's why you're asking. I got banners hanging up in my office at work. I got my names on trophies, and I've been moving around with Siemens here quite a bit, and everywhere I go, I leave my mark on the fantasy football championship trophy. So they always remember, who came in, and kind of same thing I did to all you guys all year round, pretty much, whooped on you a little bit and moved on. So
any comments, guys?
I leave my mark at Siemens, right? I've been kicked out of a fantasy league because I got yelled at for making a trade. I traded a bunch of guys for a running back with Kansas City that will remain nameless. Well, first game, he tore his ACL. It was over. They yelled at me, complained. The guy that I traded all those guys to is who I beat in the Super Bowl.
Well, it's funny that you talk about A, leaving your mark, and B, trades, because I would love to get into the weeds on this Aaron Rodgers trade.
Well,
send it to your.
There's a sticky note.
Before we move on to that, Sean, so you didn't really say, you alluded to the fact you won championships. Do you have a number? Is it one? Is it more than one? What have we got?
Oh, combined total, probably 7 or 8.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, you've been playing a long time, so
in leagues that are money to where Super Bowl champ would win $5-6 grand when you won. You had to blind bid for players, and you could be picking up number one on the waiver wire, $20-25 for a running back that was coming up from an injury. Yeah, there's some big money leagues.
You done some of that too, huh?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, Sean, one of the questions on my list was Sean has a question he'd like to ask you. So let's just go right to that.
I just want to get into this Aaron Rodgers trade. All right, first of all, no trades. Got it. Second of all, you need to accept the one that I just sent you. First of all, I like it on paper. What is this?
Overpaying is okay. Remember that.
Yes. So what did you think about sending the only piece that would fill the hole of what arguably could have been your own projected person that you were going to go up against in the championship? I mean, before the trade, he was doing really well. We won't say his name because I don't want to give him too much credit. But did you look at his lineup at all and say, man, I really would like to help this guy out and get him to the championship?
Well, I wanted to make sure I was playing the best. And, when looking into it and even going back to the draft, you look at the quarterbacks that I drafted, my strategy was to pick my quarterback and ride out looking for picks or, going into next year, the future. And if you remember, and I hear this quite a bit from the little one over there, if you go in back to that trade date, Russell Wilson was the MVP up until that point. So, it was hard to say, hey, I'm going to bench him, and just knowing who he was. And now his nickname here around the house is Rusty Wilson. But the day we made that trade, Rodgers lit it up that night on Thursday Night Football. I was trying to leave work, roughing it out, trying to finish that so that it could be made if he was going to start him, Rodgers or not. And so I looked at it that way and said, I'm sticking with Wilson. Obviously, Wilson took a dump, and Rodgers is going to win the MVP from that week on. And he personally thanked me for that. I got a tweet from him that says, thanks, Jason. I appreciate what you did in fantasy football for me to help me win that MVP. He would have preferred that I would have kept him on my team and he won the Super Bowl, but man, that's not going to happen.
I mean, I get it from your point. Is you had Russell Wilson. If I was in your position, I would have moved Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, he was on the up and up, and he was coming to that MVP caliber. I would have traded him at max value too. I get the trade on paper. It's hard for me to get past the trading to your potentially best person to go against in the finals. Like, you're trading Aaron Rodgers away, knowing that you are going to have to play against him.
Right, and if you look at the schedules, Rodgers had his end of the year wasn't too bad, and how they were playing. So looking at then where you would expect Wilson to be in that point, and had expecting some really good games, and he kind of bottomed out there at that point.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked at it, it was like I see it, I get who it's going to. Had a say Breeze comes back earlier, and he would have been sticking with Breeze. Cam Newton, it's a waste of a bench spot, but I get it. I would have preferred looking at Goff going forward, but I mean, at the end of the day, that really wasn't what I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take all the trade requests that I want for Drew Lock. He's looking at the block there, and he's available if you'd like him.
We have the cricket sound effect ready. Cricket.
Yeah, but
yeah. Hey, I got 3 of them already, so never know.
You got to come with more than a 4th round pick for Lock, though. Isn't that what your first offer was, a 4th round pick?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was like 5 seconds after the trade went down. I had a 4th round pick for Lock, and it was like, let me look at this a minute. Let me get home.
Mike, do you have anything to add on that trade there, that Rodgers trade that we've talked about so much?
I was going to say, I think, Sean's pretty much covered it in the last few weeks.
Ad nauseum.
I mean, the under the table money from the trade we won't talk about, but.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. Is that what it takes? I got a 20 with your name on it. If you go ahead and get that trade that's on the block right now.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next question here. Jason, comments have been made about you and your lack of participation. What I know that not the rest of the league knows is that you are responsible for a few thousand square feet of manufacturing facility as the I guess you're the plant manager. Is that your official title?
Yeah, it's manufacturing manager, but operations manager or plant manager, depending on the day of the week and who you ask.
That's right. Traditionally, we called it the plant manager, but it's going back 20 years or so. And then at home, you got a wife and 2 kids, and I just wanted to give you a chance to speak a little bit more about that. Oh, I said 2, didn't I? Geez, 3 kids. That's right.
Yeah, I was trying to sell the 3rd one, remember, but a deal fell through. Lady didn't pick her up from Facebook Marketplace. So.
She wouldn't give you Taylor, huh?
What that?
Wife.
She wouldn't give you Taylor for Dynasty, huh? She wouldn't just.
So yeah, I just want to give you a chance to expand on that a little bit. Tell people what your normal day and week is like with the job, and I guess you got about 100 employees under you too. So a wife, 3 kids, 100 employees, and a few thousand square feet of real estate. So what's your normal day and week like, and why does it keep you from fantasy a little bit?
It's all pretty sporadic, but I've been with the company for a long time, so I've moved around a lot and put quite a bit into at least what I wanted to do in my career. So I've moved here to North Carolina. We've been here I think about 3 years now, maybe. Was in South Carolina before that for just under 5 years. And then, I've been back and forth living in a hotel. So, any chance I can get to spend, with the kids, the family, I want to take full advantage of that, because I lost a lot of that traveling, missing birthdays and stuff kind of sucks. But, for the ultimate end goal, what I was looking for, that was the sacrifice put into it. So I try to, balance that time out as much as possible, at least with the home front. On the work part, yeah, we got about a 200,000 square foot facility. When I got there, we shipped about $5 million worth of product out of the door. Last year, we shipped $40 million worth of product, gone from 20 employees to, like you said, just under 100 employees, here. So, a lot of good things happening over there, and it's good fun, but always crazy stuff. There's never a dull moment when you're trying to manufacture stuff. And even I know, Skippy Bark, I'm gonna give him a shout out here in this, he's kind of behind the scenes in me running all that. So, he's doing a bunch of stuff and working, all different hours, knocking out, production orders, making sure we're ready, pushing shortages, stuff like that. Cause, at the end of the day, there's these crazy people that want us to deliver it so that these lights on, we keep running.
Yeah, that's a lot. I know you got a lot on your plate, and I thought it was important that the rest of the league knew that, because you're not always going to be available when you got that kind of thing going on.
Yeah, and and I try and get there too. And some things, guess, got to do a better job of, what's real and not. Sometimes you're getting that fishing trade out there, just wants to start the conversation, and throw some notes with it, right? Don't just throw a blind. Hey, I want golf for a 4th rounder. Actually, it was lock, whatever.
Yeah,
but been like, hey, I'm interested in this. Let's talk or something, or where we're really at with it, and let's make it that conversation. Blind trades, are always crazy when you look at them and like, Joe Mixon for 3 first rounders, I'm in. I mean, taking it, all day long. But, sometimes, when I can't get to it looking at it. So I want to make sure I know what I'm looking into it, know what, ultimately I want to invest into it, to know we're both going to have a good conversation, get some good deals out of trade. Like you said, I don't care that you think you're number 2, because if I'm still sitting at the top, you got to come through me. And, obviously we see what happened. I get it. I don't blame me losing the Super Bowl on quarterbacks. I blame me losing the Super Bowl and the league. I'm playing the wrong freaking defense.
Yeah, it's been your theme. John, you had something to add there?
I think that's really what everyone wants to know, is like, if they were coming to you with a trade, what's the best way? I mean, obviously, besides giving you a little extra time to respond because of your heavy workload, heavy family load, obviously both of those come way before any of what's the sticky note say? I need
it's a good one. J.K. Dobbins, right? That's in there. Sell high. Sell high.
Sell high.
Come at me with at least a realistic conversation, not to where you're going to sell it low, right? I get, in the values of that stuff. If you're talking about Drew Lock and pick or something like that, I get it. You're talking about a piece like Kamara or Dobbins, to where they really fit into a offense or to someone's season. I mean, you look at Kamara, he makes or breaks it for anyone that has him throughout fantasy football this year. I don't care who it is. I think he got 1 billion thank yous for all the Super Bowl victories he got, people throughout the year. So, sometimes you got to know that, hey, there's value into this, and I know your gold is gold, and I'm coming at you to buy your gold.
Yeah.
Don't think you're buying my copper for gold.
So Mike, does that help you at all with any trades that you might have going on with Goofy?
I could have gone back to August. I would have paid more for Kamara back then.
Well, if you guys remember, what was the trade on the block for Kamara then?
I know it started with at least 2 firsts before the season started. I don't remember if there was anything else from there, but I let that sit for like a few weeks, just sitting in your trade inbox.
Yeah, and I definitely went back and forth on that one. I'm thanking myself for not taking that one now.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, there's some ones I'd bite myself in the butt for not taking.
Jason, you mentioned somebody helping you. I guess I wanted to mention your son Ethan, I think, is helping you with the league. You're kind of doing this with him.
Yeah, don't mention the Rodgers trade around him. He's still kind of grumpy about that one, and yells at me quite often.
Sean, his own son agreed with you that was a bad trade.
Yeah.
I like your son. I never met him, but I think he has a solid head on his shoulders.
So yeah, he's like, and I told him, he's like, Dad, watch what's gonna happen, and it happened. He just looks at me and doesn't matter if it's a playoff game or what. He just looks at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped me out make some decisions. So anytime he was picking the defense, I'm now
Hey,
picking
here we
the
go.
opposite defense of what he picks. So he says pick the Chiefs. So I'm saying, all right, Ethan, and I'm benching them and putting the Cowboys in because we talked about it and that worked, right? He can't pick a defense either. So I just go the opposite of him to confirm the defense. But yeah, what do you think about that Rodgers trade? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yeah, see.
It's good. Great to meet you, Ethan. It's really cool that you're sharing this with your son, man.
Co-manager.
Well,
Yeah.
last year he was drafting for me. And I told him, I said, don't take this guy. This asterisk right here means that this guy is holding out. So let's look who's taken. And come through. I'm like, hey, Ethan, I came back from the bathroom. How'd it work out? And he's like, Dad, I took that guy you told me not to take. And I said, great. So now we don't have a running back, dude. And he passed on Aaron Jones. So this year he made sure we got Jones, and that definitely helped out with how that worked out.
Yeah. I think if he's got much to do with your success, he's doing all right.
Trained up early.
Yeah, that's great, man. Well, I got a couple of quick fun questions, and then we're going to try to get to some trade talk at the end of the show. But a couple quick ones that are fun here. Do you remember the time that you called Ian an asshole in chat? Just wanted to see if you remember that time. That was early on in the league.
No.
You
I'm
remember
trying to
that?
remember what it was about too, but and a lot of it too, and with work and life and fantasy, right? There's a lot of it that fantasy's about fun and getting your digs in with your can. I know sometimes it gets crossed the line and where people's at, but most of the time I know, and I think you guys would agree, it's all in good fun unless we're getting to some serious trade talks, like I saw some nonsense the other day for all these first rounders for picks. But
we every show we got to give Ian a little crap, so we thought we'd bring up the time you called him an asshole. It's something between. It was something I can't even remember all the details either, but I think I did something for you, and he made some smart comment about it, and you were like, "Lay, look, asshole."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
kind of assuming that it was like I was reaching under the desk.
Yeah, like I was doing something special for you, So
yeah. I didn't need that much help. I'm a Cowboys fan.
That's when Sean decided to be your best friend, even though you wouldn't talk to him much.
Yeah, I had to find him somewhere. Yeah, even like with Evan, in the beginning, he jumped in the league late, and I'm sporadic, and he was coming at me with some trades, and I'm like, time out, go look at the podcast they got going on. They picked me at eighth. You guys don't quit your day jobs. You picked me eighth, and he came at me and started going crazy, and then he's like, oh, I get it, and I was like, whatever, and again, move on from that. For the record, nobody has ever or will be on mute. I can do a good job of ignoring you and not worrying about it anyway. I don't need it on mute.
You hear that, Evan? You're not on mute, so you're great.
At least you still got me, okay? Here, I'll give you a hug. I know that somebody else has you on mute right now, and I'll leave that one to you guys.
He just brings out the best in people, doesn't he? That was the last question I was going to ask you, if you had anybody blocked or if you were holding any grudges. It sounds like you're holding a little bit of grudge against the guys that picked you eighth.
So, no, I get it, right? You gotta figure out who it is and how it lays. Nobody knows how all that was going to work. I mean, look at Adams slipping down to the second round, and everybody passed on him at least once and a half times, and going after for what was there, and look what happened. Number one wideout. So. Yeah, I mean, I throw my picks just like Tom Brady does in the playoffs and still wins.
Woo! All right, here we go. We're still going to the Super Bowl, all right?
I told you how that was going to work, right? He went into Drew Brees' house, and Brees retired, okay? He retired and says, I can't take this no more. So he just went into Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers had a press conference that said, I don't know if I'm going to be in Green Bay anymore. Brass is a problem. He's going to Tampa Bay for the first time ever, first quarterback to win the AFC and NFC championship and a Super Bowl from both sides and at home. He's the GOAT. Move on. Stop giving him crap. Let him enjoy it, because I don't think anybody else has that many of these.
There's a certain GIF I sent to Ian in chat that I wish I had up right now.
Oh, yeah. Let me find it. put me on pause.
I was just going to say, Jason just made Ian really happy, which should make Sean sad. But in this case, Sean forgives him since it's his Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I can't argue with logic. I mean,
yeah. What do we got? What do we got?
And then you got to remember the Cowboys still suck. Go
Cowboys
Tampa
suck.
Bay. Go Tampa Bay.
Jason, I think we need to have you on at least once a month nowadays. You know, really nail.
Well, we do
All
some
right.
better planning, and I think there's a possibility. You know, it comes and goes. You know, things kind of bounce around, especially when you got sports and.
So I'm gonna show what Michael posted on the group chat when Ian was talking about my quarterback, Tom Brady. Mind you, this might be a little vulgar, but it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, a little vulgar.
Look at that. That is hilarious.
Yeah, that sums up our thoughts very well.
That sums up every quarterback in the NFL except for Tom Brady. Come on, I mean,
Mark, let's roll it up. Let's go to the next segment here.
Yeah. Let's finish up with a little bit of trade talk. That was some good one-on-one with Goofy, or one-on-three with Goofy, however you want to say it. But yeah, let's talk about a trade we had last night and had a lot of activity on chat. We had Josh, the Silly Biscuits. Josh, he received Cam Akers, and he gave away to Dylan, Cortland Sutton, Carson Wentz, pick 10 in the 2021 draft, and a 2022 first rounder. Mike, I'm going to start with you because I think you got some calculator information on this. Run down this trade for us and what the calculator says.
It's bad. But Silly, we went over the whole trade thing with him last time. We told people to use calculators. So now Silly uses a calculator and absolutely fleeces somebody with it, apparently.
What did your calculator say there?
Mine put it at the value of Cam Akers with a value adjustment anyway, is about 11,500. The picks, Cortland Sutton, Carson Wentz, that's about 17,000. This one puts it at a difference of, and this is why Sean brought up Amari Cooper, that was a difference about the value of Amari Cooper, Chase Claypool, Kenny Galladay, around that, kind of group of guys. I don't know.
And you use keep trade cut for a calculator?
Cut, yeah. And I have it on Superflex off with an acceptable variance of 5%, but it didn't matter because it's nowhere near that.
Right. So what do you think, all things considered, Cam Akers being an emerging running back in the league?
I think that's got to be where he's looking at it. He's got Saquon Barkley coming back, and now Cam Akers. It looks like it's going to be his backfield. Like we went over here, it's okay to overpay. I mean, we've all overpaid at some point, but that seemed like a bit much. I remember the sticky note. I remembered it.
Jason, what are your thoughts on this trade?
I get overpaying, and overpaying for that guy, and like different calculator says, difference of Greg Kittle. I mean, that's a huge difference. You look at a player or a second tier, third tier kind of guy. I get it. Definitely get overpaying for your guy and get what you want though. At the end of the day, hey, maybe we should throw out what calculator everyone uses, and there it is to get it right, so everyone at least gets the same baseline and knows. Use whatever calculator you want, right? At least everyone knows there's one out there. And look, I mean, just come on, don't sell the farm on something, and hey, maybe reach out to someone if you're not sure. I get everyone's out to whoop everyone's tail, but looking at it and just saying, hey, let me put a different perspective on it. Not saying these guys, someone else. Never know. But I get overpaying, but no one's coming to me overpaying.
Yeah, where's my overpaying? Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take overpaying trades. Just send them through. Let's talk.
Well, like Mark said, I thought there was a bidding war at some point because I went after Cam when he put him on the trade block. And Evan said he did, but apparently there wasn't much of a trade war.
And I'm sure Ian's in the market for a good running back there, Goofyjas. So if you want to go and give the guy that you had to play in the championship, again, the only hole that he has in his lineup, you go right ahead. I heard he has a bunch of picks that he could probably throw at you. Look at that. Look at that.
Sorry to hear. Sorry to hear. I already got it. You know, and you got to think too, right? I get it. And he's a, you know, the quarterback trade. I had 4 of them. If you go through that year and look at the stats, I had 4 of the top 11 quarterbacks for 9 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
And so someone else should have come first. So I get it. I was just trying to dump before something happened. It happened to the wrong one. You know, you need a key piece like that. Like I said, it's a little different, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be a starting lineup for a while.
I don't think we'll ever get over this Rodgers trade. As long as Sean has breath in his body. Sean, what do you think about that trade in particular, the one between Josh and Dylan there?
Well, I like this trade better than the trade that launched the whole show about trade calculators, because there's actually guys in here that, I mean, Cortland Sutton could be a more than often flex play, you know, depending on what you got in the flex position. He could play every other week, every second week, you know. And those first round picks, you don't know what the 2022 pick is going to turn into be, but the 2021 pick is a late first round. You're still looking at a guy that could potentially be a strong flex play in first year, depending on the position that you pick. So I get overpaying. I overpaid for CEH. I overpaid for Mixon, because those are.
Say that again.
What's that?
Say that again about Mixon. You way overpaid. Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
It's breaking up. I couldn't hear it.
overpaid
Sorry.
for Mixon, and I got Mixon, and I got CEH. So I understand. I get it.
But that's your guy. Go for it. You know, if it's your guy, you got to do it, because as soon as I draft him, the price is going up, right? And I get it. It's a reality to it. Do it while you can.
Well, on my end, I just when I first saw the trade, my first thought was, man, that's like Jonathan Taylor money. So I looked at some of the values on my calculator of some of the top running backs that were drafted last year. CEH is the top one at 25.25. Taylor was 22.98. So you look at what Dylan got total. His points on his side was 28.65 in my calculator. This is Dynasty 101. So, you know, that would have been pretty equal to CEH or Jonathan Taylor. J.K. Dobbins is at 15.30. Cam Akers, who was, I think most people had ranked as the 4th rookie coming out last year, he's at 8.45. Now, I adjusted that up because I thought that was low when I saw it. I really thought it was low. So I added 300 points to him, put him at 11.45. But that comes out to about what Cortland Sutton is at 11.69. So yeah, I was having trouble reconciling the numbers, but Josh said that his calculator had it even. So I'm going to try to use Josh's calculator if I trade with him from now on, because
which one is that?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I know that mine and 2 others had it pretty lopsided, and then there was a 4th one that had it a little bit closer, but still saying that you kind of needed another piece to go along with that trade for Cam Akers. So Cam Akers, he had a good playoff run.
One day.
One day.
I just wanted to say we should look at Hill's lineup now. He's going to be playing Cam Akers. That could be a RB1, RB2 in a flex position, because he has Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley. That's going to be is 1 and 2. He is locked for running backs now. Like bye weeks, he still has an RB1 playing in both of his positions. So overpaying at that time was smart, I think.
Well, that's his approach. He goes heavy on running backs, because we all seen you lose one running back and all of a sudden you're struggling. So he likes to go heavy there, so that if there's an injury, if they're all playing, he's killing it. If there's an injury, he's still got enough to make it up. And he does. He definitely does have 3 really good running backs to play every week. So I kind of see the overpaying too. It was a big difference, but it was a better trade, I think, than the one that we were talking about last week. So I'll give him some credit there. It was a little lopsided, but I think they both got good things out of it. I think they both got what they wanted at the end of it. So,
well, I guess that's the end of our show. I want to say thank you to Jason for coming on to the show. It was nice to get to know you. I think everybody in the league wants to overpay for their running backs nowadays. 1 second. I'll get to that, sir.
Don't want to
Our
miss
next
out.
Our next show, we're going to get into league awards. Keep that in mind. It's going to be a great show for the onesies and twosies that actually watch our show. It's going to be a good time. There's only one thing I have left to say. Oh, yeah. Ian, you suck.